Okay, we're off. Taking this guy back to school for a second semester junior year. And I have to be on the western side of the state for work early next week. So Chris and I decided to take this opportunity and go up to Jackson for the weekend. Of course, a polar vortex set in for the weekend. It is super cold. We did not get nearly as much snow as they were calling for overnight. So we just got about a dusting. Roads appear to be opened for the whole duration of our trip. Probably the sketchiest part will be getting Aiden back to Laramie, getting up over the summit. But as of now, roads don't look bad here. We'll see what happens. Add anything? Just got to our hotel in Jackson, Flat Creek Inn, which is right at the entrance to Grand Teton National Park. Super cute. Has a little dressing area with the bathroom, a little kitchenette, and a kitchen. So super cute for a couple day stay.
All right, so we made it to, where are we?
Snake
River Overlook. It's 27:20 or so. So it's starting to get light out. It's pretty foggy, misty out, but I'm hoping that's going to burn off once the sun comes up. So it's still half an hour till official sunrise, although
It's pretty light out.
yeah, well, that's when the sun's halfway over the horizon. And right, there's mountains behind us too, so I don't really know if it counts then or the actual horizon behind there. So we'll see what happens.
And then we're going moose hunting.
And I'm gonna go look for moose, and we're gonna go check out a couple places to maybe go for sunset later. Woo! As it turned out, after the sun came up, the fog did not burn off. The Tetons are right across the valley there, and you cannot see them at all. And you could not see them at all the rest of the day. In fact, this was about as clear as it got. Then we just continued driving up through the park towards the south entrance of Yellowstone, which is closed for the winter, but you can get partway up there, and this guy ran across the road in front of us and then stopped right next to us to pose for some pictures and video. The road on the Rockefeller Parkway between Teton and Yellowstone parks. So as you can see, like most of Wyoming, they kind of clear the soft snow off, but you pack snow underneath on the roads. That's how they treat them out here, as opposed to out east where they throw all kinds of salt off all over it. Here they just kind of pack it down and let you go.
Our moose hunt did not disappoint today. Thankfully, we saw someone else stop by the side of the road taking pictures. Of course, every time I get close to this guy, he goes into the brush where I can't see him.
After seeing Kim's requisite moose, and since you couldn't see any mountains all day because of the fog, we went to, there's the National Elk Refuge right outside of Jackson, where it's a protected area that the elk can come in the winter and try and forage and be fed once they run out of natural forage. So you can pay a little bit of money, and they'd have sleigh rides that go through the refuge pulled by big draft horses. And it's not really a sleigh, it's a big wagon on skis. But they take you out and take you around the elk herd and show you the elk and talk to you about the elk and the wildlife in the area. So it's pretty cool.
We just got done with a sleigh ride on the National Elk Refuge, and they told us to take a drive down the National Elk Refuge Road, and we would see bighorn sheep. And here they are. Signs everywhere that says, "Do not let the bighorn sheep lick your vehicle." We are currently not close enough for them to do so. This is pretty cool. Since yesterday's sunrise was such a bust, we decided to try again today. And it is really clear. There's the mountains that we could not see yesterday. It is negative 28 degrees, however. There are the Tetons that we did not see one time yesterday. But yeah, looks to be a much better day for photographing. I'm going to walk down where I can actually see and not see the trees. All right, it came down to the end of the parking area. We're at the Snake River Overlook. Spectacularly clear morning. Sunrise is about 30 minutes away, so we're just seeing the sky start to brighten. I'm not sure I ever felt negative 28 degrees. Pretty cold, but it's clear. We have this whole spot to ourselves, so hopefully Chris will get some really good photos.
So as Kim mentioned, it was minus 28 degrees Fahrenheit at sunrise, so got back in the car and Kim recorded a little bit of sunrise here from inside the car. Then we went and checked out and had lunch, and then headed over to Riverton, Wyoming, which is on the other side of the Wind River Range from where Jackson and the parks are. Kim had some stuff for work that she needed to do there, so that was the real reason for this trip. So we headed up across to Moran Junction, which is a town with zero population, right by the entrance booths to the Grand Teton Park, and went up through the Tokadee Pass, through the Wind River Range, and down through Dubois, Wyoming, and across the Wind River Reservation to Riverton, which is a city that's entirely surrounded by the Wind River Indian Reservation, but is not part of the reservation itself. And we stayed there for a night or two while she was taking care of her stuff for work.
Leaving Riverton, Wyoming after a fun weekend in Jackson and then a couple of days here in Riverton for work. We are going to go home by way of our land in Casper and see what it looks like in the middle of this polar vortex. It's a pretty drive that will take us out of Riverton through Shoshone into Casper. Normally we would go down through Rawlins across 80, so we're getting to avoid 80 by going in this direction and see what our land looks like in the deep freeze of winter.
All right, here we are on our beautiful land, Casper. It is slightly windy. I'm sure you can hear what I'm saying. I don't think I even want to get out of the car. We don't have to. She said that we have to. It's good experience. Usually I park off here on the land, but I'd stay here today so we don't get stuck.
Either breaking an ankle or blowing away.
Okay, now that the kids are back at school and nobody's staying in this bedroom that we built, it's time to install the guts of the closet that I bought. I bought this kind of setup. It's good for either 4 or 6 or 4 to 6 feet wide closet. So this closet is almost 6 feet wide, but it's got this kind of bump out in it. So we're just going to use the 4-foot setup configuration to do this wall. And then later we're going to put in some shelves going across this way, just in this section, maybe 3 or 4 shelves just for general storage. So it's pretty tight working quarters here, so not sure how much I'm going to, and I'm here by myself, so not really sure how much I'm going to be able to video in the progress, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's done anyway. All right, so we got this mostly in, so this is the configuration Kim decided she wanted to go with, more or less. Obviously it can be changed because they can just be moved up and down. Originally it had this a hanger on this shelf too, but there's only a long hanger left, so I'd have to cut it in half, which I can do, but not really sure if we need to have one hanging down that low. She's just going to store stuff underneath, so I'm going to wait till she gets home from work and check it out and maybe start putting stuff in here to see what whether she wants a hanger on that one or not. So now I think some of my clothes are going to hang in here, maybe some other stuff, and then like I said, we can put some about 18-inch deep by 30 or 31-inch wide shelves over in this end. I'll just mount some 2x4s or some furring strips around the perimeter for those, and either use some plywood or some leftover pieces of siding from the shed or something for those shelves, but those will be next.
Okay, next project is making a pathway along the exterior wall of the garage to get insulation run on these 2.5 walls to make this garage not be super cold. I'm calling it a today project, very optimistically, recognizing that it's probably more of a multi-day project. But the hope is to get this garage insulated. We'll worry about the drywall at a later point in time. And again, for the 3rd or 4th time, try to make space to get my car in here. I was waiting for today to do this. It's a little kind of a mild day, about almost 30 degrees already. Pretty weird to think about considering 30 degrees mild, but I can have the garage door open and work, and it's not super cold. So here goes. Okay, midday update. We got, before lunch, about 75% done. Only have that portion of the back wall left. When I first started this morning, I was putting the insulation in backwards, so learned my lesson. Now it's in correctly, or now it is in correctly, and we're starting to do a little bit of organization, pull out some things that don't belong in the garage, put it back in the shed or storage container, and so fingers crossed that I'll get my car in the end of the day.
All right, so garage is insulated and all the crap is moved back or out. Now look at this nice big space for one car anyway. You get some more of this stuff put away and use up that lumber in the basement. Maybe even be able to get 2 cars in here before the winter's over. So obviously this room, or this wall, which is against where the garage meets the house, was already insulated and drywalled, and so was the ceiling. So when we bought it, so we just insulated the rest, and we're gonna drywall it too eventually. When I bought all the insulation for the basement bedroom, I bought enough to do this as well because we knew we wanted to do it, and it's cheaper if you buy a whole bunch of rolls with a discount. So that's what we did. So we got some stuff put away. I still need to, once I get a walls here, I need to make a workbench and get some more storage for tools, because all these boxes over here are tools and things that I need to get to do different projects, and I don't have anywhere to put them right now. So I have to go digging through boxes, which is annoying, but Kim pretty much cut, well, she started before I had some calls for work, so she started, got a little bit of it done, but then once I was done with work, I'd come out. So she was cutting and I was hanging for the most part, so it went pretty quickly, a couple hours. It's all done. So it's in the, I don't know, mid-30s or something today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be colder again, so it'll be a good test tomorrow during the day to come out and see if it feels noticeably better. I mean, there's no heat in here. It's not at the moment. Hopefully it's at least kept some of the chill out. We got the door closed. Eventually maybe we'll put some kind of heater or something in here, but that's a future project. All right, so I think that's about it for this week. Coming up next week, we've got something we got that we'll make a video about, so stay tuned for that.